start. Come down here on this cold, wet, rainy October morning, and I can't even tighten up my line to put the bobbin on, and the fish takes off already. Look at that. It's hard to see. Nice, fat, look at the belly on it. Big, chunky carp. Really, really thick across the head. Short though, short and fat. Beauty fish. Yeah, what an exciting start. I just came down, it was pouring rain, I didn't think I was going to fish, so I rigged up my son's umbrella over top of the camera just to keep that dry. And yeah, I just put the line out. Put the line out, just tightened it up, just about to put the bobbin on, and it started running right away. So I'll show you what I got that fish on in just a few minutes, and explain why we're doing something a little bit different yet again. Let's get this fish back. Okay, so what we're doing this morning, as I said, something a little bit different. Seems like every time I come out I try something different, but that's really key when you want to make sure that you're producing fish consistently. Especially since, you know, no 2 days are the same. You've got different temperatures, different air pressure, you know, so many different factors. And fishing river systems like this, you know, you could have difference in current. So it's always changing, and you want to be as adaptable as possible in those situations. So today, you know, pouring rain this morning. It's cold. It's only about 12 degrees. Yesterday it was 25 degrees. The rain came in the afternoon, and temperature just plummeted, and it stayed raining all night. So rather than do, you know, the boilie and the pop-up corn like we've been using pretty much all this season, I wanted to make sure I put the odds in my favor by kind of matching the hatch like a fly fisherman. I've been baiting the area with maize. Well, I can put a boilie and a pop-up corn out there and it would probably work. But it's cold, so they're not going to be feeding quite as much as they have been, you know, this summer. You know, in the last few sessions we've had, I've only seen one fish rise since I've been here, and I've been here over an hour setting up and, you know, just kind of watching the water. And you know, I put this line out, and the fish took it right away. So with a bed of maize out there, I put 4 pieces of maize on the hook, the hair rig, rather than the boilie. Because this is what's out there, this is what I've got them feeding on. And, you know, having baited the area as soon as I got here, so an hour ago, these fish have had an hour to start feeding confidently. Now, the only other thing I'm doing to this is, of course, my sweet corn booster, just to make this stick out that little bit more from the baited area. You know, we've got current. I want that kind of a slick around the bait, so that if that fish is moving anywhere near it, they catch that scent and just shoot right over. And clearly that's what happened there. I put it out there, just started to tighten up the line, and you know, sure enough, it was right on it. So let's get this back out there, try and get another fish, and we'll see how this cold morning works out for us. Sometimes fishing in thick weeds You know, there's other stuff in there, and it will cut through even 17-pound test. Time to get a new rig on and recover from that epic failure. Come on. Oh. In the net. Had a lot of missed bites, a bunch of, you know, subtle indications with that ended up nothing. We had the one break off. It's turning out to be a pretty crazy morning, being as cold and as messy as it is out. We're not getting the monsters, but we're still getting fish, and that's what matters, and that's the point of being out here today, is to get fish. It's one of the smallest ones I've got from this area. But what a beauty. So strong. The take on this was just amazing. I was running for the rod. It just went right off, just started screaming. There was no little blips beforehand. It was just a grab it and run kind of deal. Such an aggressive little fish. Nope. I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna get back out there. What a take. This fish is on the other side of the river right now. Oh, he's coming back. Yeah, that's a good one. Another beauty. Great big common. Well, not great big. Probably only 10 or 12. Not too big. Fat. You know, they're all fat. Chunky. Solid fight. This fish went straight across the river, was thrashing around on the other side, and then turned around and came right back at me. Really good battle. Beauty fish. Oh, I gotta get this one back. You know, I wasn't expecting to have such a good session. You know, this one's definitely helping make it worth it. Seems to be no shortage of good battles this morning. Another Welland River chunker. Another great big belly. Just a fat, heavy fish. Say hi. You know, just having the straight maze on the hair rig is doing the trick today. You know, not doing anything complicated, just putting it out there in amongst the bed of bait. A slingshot of bait after every fish. Just keep them interested. If it goes about 10 or 15 minutes with nothing happening, throw another slingshot out. You know, dipping my bait in the sweet corn booster. The rain's not holding them off, the cold's not holding them off. These fish are still actively feeding, getting ready for that winter that's coming. In, you know, just a few months, not long at all. Beauty fish. Having a great day so far. Really enjoying myself. Let's get this guy back. Okay, I'm gonna go through the rig real quick. You know, I've touched on it earlier, but I didn't really go into detail. So very similar to the rig that I've been using most of this season. I'm using a lead clip setup, and again, you can watch the lead clip tip clips video on how to set this up. I've got a longer pencil lead, just something because I'm fishing such heavy weeds. This will grab the weeds a little bit better than those round ones I was using. So if the fish does get stuck, this will come off easier. I found that those rounders, the round sinkers that I was using, the small 3/4 ounce ones, they just weren't coming off the way they were supposed to, even when the lead clip was set really light. So just for the sake of fish safety, I put on a lead that's going to grab those weeds a little bit better. I got about an 8-inch section of stiff 17-pound monofilament, and then an Albright knot to a short piece of braid, a 20-pound braid. Now, I just wanted that little slight hinging effect there. You can see it better here. So there's only maybe 2 or 3 millimeters between, yeah, if that, 2 millimeters between the Albright knot and the eye of the hook, just so that it just slightly moves from that boom section. I don't want it moving around too much. I want it to stay pretty static so that I have a pretty good direct contact to the fish. I don't want a short hook length because they'll notice that sinker a little bit too early in these weeds. There's just too much resistance right away. So I'm making a little bit longer, so I have to wait a little bit longer for some of the bites. You know, they pick it up, they drop it a couple times, but you know, giving them that extra bit of play gives me that chance to have them come back if they do spit it out. Just maize on the hair rig, and I believe I put on a size 4 Universal Perfection Monster Carp tackle hook. You know, that's got all but the first fish I had today. The first hook I had on was the same, just slightly smaller. That's the one that my hook link broke, and that could be just, you know, I tied a bad knot in the Albright knot. You know, it's a new knot for me. I'm not experienced with it, so that might have been all that happened there. Just poor rigging. You know, the more you do it, the more practice you get, the better you get at it. So I've got 4 pieces on here now. I've been trying to keep 5 on just to fill up that hair, because I am using a larger hook. I don't want that hook sticking way out over just 2 pieces of corn on a longer hair. So I'm going to put a few more pieces of corn on here. I'm going to dip it back in that World Classic Baits sweet corn booster. I'm going to get it back out there, and I'm going to get myself another fish, because really I've only been here, I guess, 2 hours. We got a whole whack of fish, and I've got like another 4 hours to go. Might as well keep busy. Yeah. Well, it's slowed down a little bit. Still getting a lot of indications, so they're still in the area and they're still bumping the bait, but they're just not taking it as aggressively as they were. And then this one came along, and what a take that was. Beauty fish. You know, I just can't get over. They're all cookie cutter fish. You know, they're all around this average size. You know, I don't care where you go. If this is the average size of fish you're gonna get, that's a hell of a good average. You know, we've stayed pretty consistent. We've got a number of fish, lots of good hits. You know, some of them I missed. You know, Facebooking with the Anglerphiles page updates and things like that. But really happy to have gotten this one. Great fight. You know, these fish are fighting like they're 10 and 20 pounds heavier, even these smaller ones. But really, really nice fish. Really hoping a 20 will come along to visit today, or a 30. But if it doesn't, I still had a worthwhile time to get out. Really enjoyed myself. I think I'm gonna try and get a couple more, just relax a bit. Let's get him back. Raining again, so I had to throw some of the rain gear back on. And it's definitely slowed down now. It's quite a bit of time in between fish. But you know, here's a fat little guy to just keep me reminded as to why I'm here. You know, they're still biting. It's cooled right down. It's definitely much colder than it was when I got here. It might only be 9 or 10 degrees out. Still raining, still cold. But as you can see, still worth it. I'm gonna get him back, and we're gonna talk a little bit about what happened during the battle of that with that fish. A helpful tip that might help you land a few more. Now, that last fish we got, great hit, long battle, really good. But that fish got into the thick weeds to a point where I couldn't make any forward progress to get that fish in. And, in situations like that, it's kind of hard, If you pull too much, you could break the line, you could hurt the fish. If you don't pull enough, you risk, that line going slack if you don't have the hook hold that you were hoping you had. So I kept the line tight, but not too much pressure, and I let the fish work its way out. So letting that fish pull back, and just as it was supposed to, the sinker came off the lead clip, and I think that's what got me that fish. If that sinker would have stayed on there, that fish would have been pulling against a lot of resistance, and I would have been pulling against even more, and eventually something would have given. So in that particular case, it worked out well. The lead came off, dropped to the bottom, fish come up out of the weeds, I was able to get it in. Not a monster, but so worth it. I'm glad I'm out. I'm glad I decided to come out today, even though the weather was nasty. Yeah, that lead clip does the job for fish safety and to make sure that you get a few more on the bank. So invest in them. They're worth it. Get them. Well, there we go. Perfect way to end the session today. The rain, the cold, the wet. This cool October morning. Fish have had the feed bag on pretty good. A couple of break-offs, a couple I didn't show you, but we got a lot of fish today. A lot of really good fish, quality fish, even this little guy. So I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna keep fishing. I'm gonna hang out for a little while longer. But the camera's going off, and he's telling me he's done. So I'm gonna get him back. You enjoy your time on the water.